Right.
Welcome to Health Beat Live. My name is Ava and I am reporting for the Healthy NewsWorks from Norristown, Pennsylvania. On this video call with me is Dr. Katherine Napalinga. She is a psychiatrist for Einstein Healthcare Network in Philadelphia. A psychiatrist helps people who are going through tough times to deal with their feelings. Today, we will talk about social distancing, which we all have to do now because of the coronavirus. Dr. Napalinga, thank you for allowing me to interview you for Health Beat Live.
Thank you for this opportunity, Ava. And these are certainly very important and difficult times for all of us. So any opportunity to help out, I'm glad to do that.
My first question is, what is social distancing and how does it help other people?
That means we have to temporarily stay away from each other and stay at home as much as possible so that we don't get sick and also we don't pass on the virus to other people that we come near to.
Okay. How does social distancing affect kids differently than adults?
So it's sometimes a little tougher for kids to observe social distancing because, as you know, Ava, kids are very social people, You want to play with your friends, you want to hang out with family members. You can spend some time alone, but not the entire whole day, It gets very, very hard, after a certain amount of time if people just leave you alone by yourself. That's why they make movies about it, right? Home Alone. But people are very, very social animals. So being alone all the time, being distant from other people doesn't come naturally to all of us.
What can children do if they miss being with their friends or family?
So luckily, we have a lot of technology now that they didn't have when the last pandemic happened in 1918, I believe. So now we have our computers, we have the internet, and we have a whole bunch of telecommunication apps and software that we can use to communicate with our loved ones. And of course, there's the good old telephone, there's writing letters that we can do to keep in touch with our loved ones.
Social distancing bring out kindness or other good things in people?
Absolutely. I once heard somebody say that the hard times are what brings out the most creativity in people. It brings out the best, but sometimes it also brings out the worst in people. So I would like to focus on the best in people, so kindness. If you look at the news, it may seem like it's only bad news coming out at you, but there's actually a lot of good news going around. Like some examples I can give are a news story I read about some kids in suburban Philadelphia actually designing a face shield for people working in the hospital. And the doctors liked it so much that they built an assembly line for people to make those models of face shields that the kids design. And another example is a bunch of fashion designers in the Philippines got together, formed an association, and started sewing a bunch of protective clothing for doctors working in the hospital.
How will people react after social distancing is over?
So I think that this historical event has actually changed a lot of people and a lot of the things we do and society in general. And I think one of the things that it will achieve is it will help us appreciate the things that we have more. Sometimes you don't appreciate the things you have until you actually lose them. So, for example, not being around your friends and you miss them so much. So when you see them again, you're just so happy to be able to hug them again and be physically close to them and your family members too. And also it'll help us appreciate spending as much time with our parents, for example, who are working from home, because normally they would just be at work and you wouldn't be spending so much time with them. It will help us appreciate life outside our electronics, because sometimes, all the free time allows us to learn a new language or learn arts and crafts or get a new skill that we wouldn't have been able to learn if this whole social distancing and the pandemic event, if they didn't happen.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Napalinga.
Thank you so much, Ava. Have a good one and stay safe, okay?